How are you? When someone asks you, how are you? What is your first response? Be honest. Do you just lean in and respond, I am tired, swamped, just existing? I'm not saying the struggle is not real. I'm not saying that you deny your struggles. But don't you think always complaining, always saying the negatives, blurs us? It stops us from seeing what God is doing with our lives. There's nothing wrong with being real about our struggles. But what if we are stopping too soon? What if our default to lament is stopping us from seeing the bigger picture God is planning for our lives? Today we are starting a 3-part series, a 3-part episode about what to do when life gets hard. The first episode is on don't let your pain be your story. Alright, as I said, we are going to use the Bible as our background story. So we are using Genesis 47. This is the story of Jacob when he left to visit or stay with his son Joseph in Egypt. In Genesis 47, Pharaoh just asked a polite question. No pressure, no agenda, just curiosity. How old are you? And what was Jacob's response? He did not just give a number. He said, the years of my pilgrimage has been far and few, not like my fathers before me. A man just asked about someone's age, and the man Jacob is talking about the hardship that he has gone through. Let's just look at Jacob. This is a man who ran from his brother Esau after taking his blessing. A man who slept on a rock and saw heaven open. A man who worked or served 14 years for the woman that he loved. A man who returned back home with many people, many flocks. A man who had a chance to go and stay with his son when there was famine around the globe. But when he was asked, how old are you? He just talked about the hardships. I am not just saying it's not true or real. But why is it that we always complain about the hardships, the things that we find difficult in our lives? We are talking about the good things that is also happening or that are happening in our lives. The pain was real, but that wasn't the whole story. Now let us look at the man at the pool in Bethesda in John 5. This man has been there, he has been laying there for 38, probably not good years. 38 bad years, if I must say, because if you've been sick for 38 years, those 38 years will not be good. This man was there, and Jesus came to him. Friend, do you want to get healed? What was the man's response? Imagine being sick or wanting something for 38 good years. Finally, someone asks you, do you want to get healed or do you want to get this? I would have jumped and said, yes, please, I want to get healed. But this man started complaining again about those people were not able to help him into the pool. And when he tries to get into the pool, some will get ahead of him. Yes, the pain was real, but he missed the chance. He missed the opportunity to get healed. If it wasn't that Jesus was sent, Jesus went there particularly for him, he would have missed his miracle. And friends, I think we do this too. When someone asks you how was work, we just lament about being unappreciated, about bad colleagues, bad bosses, or bad leaders. When a family member asks about your trip, we only talk about the delays and the what ifs. We forget to talk about the faithfulness of God over our lives, how he brought us, how he has held the peace that we have in our hearts and our minds, the peace that surrounds us. Lament is biblical. God does not tell us to just ignore our pain and be strong. Yes, lamenting is biblical. In fact, we have a whole book dedicated to that in Lamentation. God never wants us to just be positive, just to hide our pain and our struggles. In fact, in Psalm 34, it says, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." He wants our raw, unfiltered, honest heart. But there's a huge difference between lamenting to God and getting stuck in lament. Getting stuck is talking about our pain more than talking about God's faithfulness. It is talking more about what we don't have than what or who we do have. It is allowing our pain, our struggles, to become our identity more than allowing God's presence to be our response. People of God, so how do we stand firm without faking strength? It is about balancing honesty with faith. Now, Jacob could have responded, "I am 130 years. My years have been hard, with struggles, with death, but God has been faithful. He has never left me alone, and He has provided for me and my family. He has brought us to this place. God has been good." Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, standing firm doesn't mean that the hard part do not exist. The hard part exists, but it should be a chapter in the story and not the whole book. It is just saying it hurts, but God is bigger. So, the next time life asks you, "How are you?" don't just stop, "I'm hurting," but add, "God is with me. God has been faithful." Don't just share only your struggles, but share the God who is with you and who has been with you through it. Thanks for spending this 5 minutes with me. If this encouraged you, I want you to hit the like, subscription button, share, and also comment. Share this with someone who needs to hear today. Join me next time for our episode 2. We are going to talk about something deeper. We are going to talk about how letting empathy not be your only cure. How letting go of your pain can help God to rewrite your story. See you next time. God bless.